Hello everyone, it's Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and it is day 7 of Scraptember 2024. Today's prompt is no people, so interpret that as you will, but it's no people. Not that you can see it because it's off camera, but I'm using a photo of some scones and a cup of tea, and it's actually my Mother's Day photo from 2024 this year. Back in May was Mother's Day here in Australia, and I made myself some scones and a cup of tea, and I was just out the front with the kids while they were playing, and I don't know, it was a nice day, and I just took a photo of my scones and jam and cream and a cup of tea, and yeah, it was lovely. Now, I decided I wanted to do a little bit of mixed media on this page. Now, I don't love how this turned out. I have used some white acrylic paint, and I think they're Vicky Bouton glazes. I don't know what she called them. Jess actually gave them to me. She got them from Kidaholic Kits, and she knew she wouldn't really use them, and I wanted to have a play with them, so she's given them to me. And this one is in a colour called Pumpkin Spice. So it is a bit orange toned, not that it looks like it on camera, but it is. And then I have, as you can see here, added some white acrylic paint to tone it down a bit. I actually wanted to make it a little bit translucent, so you could still see a little bit of the pattern coming through underneath, but I wanted to tone down the pattern a little bit. Now, look, in hindsight, I should have just done white paint, which is what I had initially planned to do, and then I opened my mixed media drawer and I saw these, and I'm like, you know what, this would be fun, let's do this. Anyway, so I'm adding in some of that colour undiluted, so you can see the kind of contrast here. It's quite a lot darker, and again, it is, look, on paper it looks very coppery, but it does have more of that, I guess, orangey tone to it, hence the pumpkin spice. I let that dry overnight. I should have probably weighed my paper down, but I didn't, so this is actually the next day. I've come back and I'm going to create my layout. So full disclosure, this is not my favourite layout I've ever made, but you know, they can't all be favourite layouts, right? So I pulled out from the Cozy Days collection, which is my How to Kill a Kit with Style collection for this quarter. I pulled out most of the ephemera that was food related. Now, I didn't use all the stickers that were food related, but I did pull out some ephemera. Some are fussy cut and some were in the ephemera pack. So the kind of pumpkin pies, and there were some jam, jars of jam, and then some teapots and teacups, which obviously are very, both the jam and the teacups and the kettles are very kind of, they relate well to this photo because it is a cup of tea. Oh, it's a cup of tea in my son's mug, actually, which is quite cute. He's got a transformer mug that he enjoys having hot chocolates in, and I don't know why I used it for my cup of tea, but I did. And then I've got scones there with jam and cream. Also, if you put your cream on first and then jam, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I laugh. You do you, but I definitely do a jam first and then an obscene amount of cream on top. Whipped cream, of course. Right, so I was trying to decide what title I wanted to use. I didn't have something kind of already planned. I wanted to put an embellishment cluster, not touching my photo, but I just couldn't work out how to do it without it kind of floating in space. I don't mind embellishment clusters floating when they're like florals or something similar, but because these were, I don't know, like icons, like literal things that needed to sit on a shelf, like jars of jam and pies and kettles and teacups. Like I needed them to sit on something, and I couldn't, in my brain at this point in time, make that work. Obviously, I could have done paper strips. I could have done maybe some ribbon. I could have done a tag. I could have even created some like stamping or some kind of other mixed media as like a shelf for it to sit on. But I didn't do any of those things. Instead, I moved my photo a little bit further to the middle of the page, and I'm going to create 3 clusters all touching my photo. This is, I think, probably why this layout's not my favourite. The embellishment clusters are a little random. I don't mind the one down the bottom that the title ends up sitting on. You can't see most of the ephemera icons because they're covered by the title, but I like how that works. I don't know, the other 2 are just a bit random, but you know what? It is what it is. This is how I use pieces of ephemera that Like I'm not going to put on other layouts like pumpkin pies because I don't eat pie. And so, I could just throw them out, but I thought, you know what, they'll go with this. This is a food related layout. It'll work. I probably will come back and add something where I can just write a couple of lines of journaling. So I won't do a lot of journaling on this page, but I do want to write, it's Mother's Day 2024. Just something about the fact that I made myself these scones because I hadn't had them in such a long time. And a cup of tea, and I was watching the kids ride their bikes. It was a lovely Mother's Day. So I am using both my ATG gun and some wet glue because there's so much mixed media on this page. I didn't think the ATG gun would probably stick enough, although in fairness, I have stuck the ephemera down with just the ATG gun and it's been fine. But sometimes that foam isn't the best to adhere to even just paper, so I thought a bit of extra wet glue will help with that. And then I'm just going to build my clusters. I'm going to stick everything down. I've got this title from the sticker sheet, so it says blessed, and I've put some little foam dots underneath there, and I'm just going to build my clusters. I'm just going to stick them down. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just putting it on the page. I'm getting my memories scrapped. So I told you today's prompt. Sorry, I should tell you a bit more about Scraptember. I feel, it's what are we up to? Day 7. So it's been a week. So hopefully there's lots of people playing along. I will leave in the description box down below the link to the playlist. And I'm hoping, as I said, that there's people joining us and playing along and scrapping and having a great time like Jess and I are, and, getting their memories scrapped. The reason we choose these 30 prompts is just to help, get people's creative juices flowing, get the mojo going. You can use the prompt however you like, however you want to interpret the prompt is right. Like there's no right or wrong here. It is just about getting people scrapping. And so I personally did struggle with the no people prompt because I don't typically take photos that don't include people, and if I do, like if I'm on holiday and I'm taking some scenery photos or whatnot, I'm also having photos with people in them, if that makes sense. So I did struggle with this prompt, but you don't have to make a 12 by 12 layout. You can do any type of creating you like you might not be a scrapper, you might be watching these videos, although I don't know why you'd be watching these videos if you're not a scrapper, but maybe you're a card maker, and so you could use the no people prompt to make some cards. Or you could say, all right, I am not going to use any ephemera that has people in it. Just interpret the prompt however you like and however is going to get you scrapping, get you, getting your memories down on the page, into albums, for other people to look at and enjoy. That's why we do Scraptember. It helps Jess and I get our memories done. We love, creating things with the scrapbooking community, and this is just a great way we found to do this. So the playlist will be linked in the description box down below. Hopefully there's lots of people playing along and it'll all be linked in the playlist. So check that out. We do have a Facebook group. It's very quiet throughout the year. It's only super active in September. There's little bits that happen there, but it's mostly September that group really picks up, and there's lots of things happening in the month of September, and then it quietens back down again. So if that's your thing, come and join us. I've left the link in the description box down below as well. So to finish off this layout, I am going to add a few tiny word stickers from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. I'm not going to lie, I don't think I can use many of these. A lot of them say, I love fall, and things about fall. And we don't call it fall, we call it autumn. But also, it's just, I don't know, fall is not a season that I take a lot of photos in that are typically, fall themed photos. I do have one set of photos I want to scrap of my son playing in leaves that have fallen off the tree. Funnily enough, in winter, not in fall, but whatever. They're still of him playing in leaves, which is awesome. And so I'll be able to get quite a few of the kind of really leaf themed things onto that page. But otherwise, I just might not use most of these stickers, I think. or the tiny word stickers. So we'll see. And nothing that says like hello fall and happy fall, because yeah, I just know I won't use them. But that's all right. I'm going to use as much of this collection as I can, and whatever I can't, I will send along to my son's daycare centre, because they love playing with stickers and all sorts of crafty bits. So they will go to a good home and get used. So I added a few puffy stickers, one into each of the clusters, and then we're finished. So here's my close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Come back and join us tomorrow for another video, and we'll see you soon. All right, bye.